A woman wakes up one morning to find clusters of black fungus sprouting on her thigh. Even though she endures excruciating pain to tear them out, the nightmare repeats every day. In the daytime, mushrooms sprout from her arms. At night, thin needle-like fungi push their way out of her ears. Even creeping vines try to force their way into her mouth. The cause lies in an ancient spore cloud drifting through this primeval forest. Once inhaled, it mutates the human body hundreds of times faster than radioactive waste ever could. Looking closely, you might see a tree root fused with the body of a still-moving human being. Get closer, and you'll notice a wedding ring hanging from one of the long branches. This is the fate of anyone who breathes in those spores. Prehistoric fungi take over the human body until the victim transforms into a terrifying fungal creature. For a long time, the forest remained eerily quiet, until one day, two reckless park rangers wandered in. While scouting ahead with a drone, Gabby caught a flicker of a human-like figure on her monitor. Thinking it was just an animal, she insisted on retrieving the downed drone. William gave her 1 hour to regroup before heading to their next survey site. But the drone ended up in the hands of two local tribesmen. On their way back, the tribesmen carefully reset their traps and then, strangely, put on masks. They pulled out a mushroom, and visible spores began to drift into the air. The spores seemed alive, moving like a swarm and latching onto other nearby fungi. Once the cloud had dispersed, the two men placed the edible mushrooms into a wooden barrel, removed their masks, and calmly walked away. Unlucky Gabby soon stumbled into one of the traps, the spike driving straight through her foot. She tried to radio William for help, but he was deep in the forest repairing equipment and had left his radio back on the boat. Just then, a shadow flickered past. Panicked, Gabby yanked the spike out, her scream of pain echoing through the woods. William heard the sound and sprinted back toward the boat, but in his rush, the radio slipped from his hands and sank into the water. Now completely cut off, Gabby struggled to her feet. The once bright sky suddenly twisted into a vision of blood-red gates, as though opening into another world. Around her, the spores began to appear, drifting silently. Following a faint light, Gabby reached a small wooden cabin. Convinced it was safe, she collapsed to the ground, exhausted. But in her dazed state, her body convulsed violently, and she coughed up a seed coated in thick mucus.